Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool and this is Gems of War. And today I want to go over the Vault event as it stands in 2025. Call it an ultimate guide if you will, a refresher if you will, something like that. But tomorrow we have the Vault event. It's the best time in the game to be farming gold, souls, orbs, gems, be playing the game at all. Like, it's the best time, it's the best event, it's what everybody's waiting for. It's once a month. You won't be able to tell that it's the vault event because it's not a traditional event. It doesn't have a shop, it doesn't have a leaderboard, nothing like that. But starting on Friday, basically just gnomes appear more often. By the way, in the background, I'm just opening vault keys because it's not the vault event yet. I just wanted to show you something. Like, this is what you get for doing the vault event, is all this good stuff that I'm getting from opening these vault keys. But yeah, during the vault event, it's just that gnomes appear more often. That's it. That's the only thing that's any different than any other normal day. And they also drop more vault keys than they usually do. So you're going to want to use Rowan or Ironhawks and Explore 1. That's still the best way to go about it. There's also Moon Mage out there. I do have a video on that if you want to, use Moon Mage. But Moon Mage is best with if you need to level Doomsayer. But yeah, you're basically going to be just doing Explore 1 over and over and over and over and over. Trying to get as many gnomes as you can. Trying to get the verses so you can craft a gap. So you can run all gnomes for 15 minutes. That's what a Gnomapalooza is, a gap. You'll be getting pity keys as you go. Every time you see a gnome, it counts it. And then, like, for the first 5, you get a key sent to your mail. The next 5, you get a key sent to your mail. When you get to 15, you get one sent to your mail. 20, you get one sent to your mail. The devs did that a while ago, just in case you get very unlucky with your gnomes and somehow aren't getting vault keys. They just wanted to send you some sort of vault keys to your mail. But yeah, what you should really start with is vault preparation. So you should be doing that, already have done that, basically. So get your Tower of Doom done by Thursday night or Friday morning at the latest. Get your Underspire as far as you want it by Thursday night or Friday morning. Get PvP where you want it. I mean, you could do a couple things before the vault event on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but you want to like keep it to a minimal, like the smallest amount, quickest amount of time, and just mostly be doing the vault event. But yeah, if you have everything, you're going to be taking Ironhawks, and you're going to be using 3 Ironhawks. You're going to have Dust Devil, Ironhawk, 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 and you're going to do that in Explore 1, and you're going to hunt for verses. And then once you get 4 verses, Cindy, Baz, Freddy, and Hoagie. Once you get all 4 of those, with their powers combined, they are Captain Planet, and you can go to the Soul Forge and craft a Gnomapalooza. Gnomapalooza is just all gnomes for 15 minutes. So make sure you have 15 minutes straight. Nobody's going to knock on your door. Nobody's going to call you. You're not going to get diarrhea or something. Like, just make sure you have 15 minutes straight to do a Gnomapalooza. Craft it, and then you just have all gnomes for 15 minutes. So way more vault keys, way more good loot. And what I normally do is I'll, go to a certain kingdom. That's another part of the preparation, is you want to find and like figure out which kingdom you're going to do. So I mostly stick around like Cinemirage and Wild Plains. But you gotta check, like, what's the event week. Like, this week it's probably Zacian Goblins or something like that. So you don't want to go to a kingdom with, like, a bunch of goblins, because they probably have, like, 10% extra stats. And, like, the Ironhawk thing is very specific. You gotta go to a kingdom where the enemies have 20 HP or less, so that it works correctly. 20, 25, whatever it is, something like that. And Wild Plains and Cinemirage seem to work. If one doesn't work, the other one works. It usually works like that. So that's where I stay. I'm not really looking in every single kingdom, but normally Cinemirage or Wild Plains will work. So take your Ironhawks. If you don't have Ironhawk, use Rowan. It's okay. What's cool about using Rowan is you can go to any kingdom you want. You can use any class you want, get class experience, get whatever trait stone you want, get all your class weapons. But if you're using Rowan, it is normally it'll be like, I don't know, Mountain Crusher, Rowan, Leprechaun, Mirage Queen, or something like that, until you get your Ironhawks. It's just a little bit slower. Like, Ironhawks is 2 times faster. But yeah, Vault Event really hasn't changed in a while. It's very hard to make something faster than pressing one button and winning without the enemy getting a turn, and that's what Ironhawks is. Especially when you're farming versus, you just press Dust Devil, and it wipes out the enemies in one shot, and it just doesn't get faster than that. I mean, there's people out there trying to make teams that are faster than that, but it's kind of strange because it's impossible pretty much. But I still use Ironhawks. Before I got Ironhawks, I used Rowan. You know, if you gotta use Rowan, it's fine until you get Ironhawks. You know, it's what everybody had to do. You see, I just got a minion orb there. That's what you're looking for. I'm looking for these days. I'm looking for gems. I'm looking for major glory orbs and major minion orbs and stuff like that. You might be looking for gold, souls, tarot cards. I mean, vault keys can get you anything in the game. So yeah, when the vault event starts, you know, first do your vault prep, get everything done before Friday, figure out which kingdom you're going to go to, get your team ready, all that good stuff, and then, you know, use either Rowan or Ironhawk. Ironhawk would be Dust Devil, Ironhawk, Ironhawk, Ironhawk for farming versus, and then it would be Dust Devil, Ironhawk, Ironhawk, Sister Superior for doing gaps. If you don't have Ironhawk, like I said earlier, it would be like Mountain Crusher, Rowan, Leprechaun, Mirage Queen, and you would use that for both. You don't have to switch. If you have Ironhawks, you have to switch between 3 Ironhawks and 2 Ironhawks. I kind of copy-paste the 2 Ironhawk team. That way, whenever I'm going back and forth, I can just paste it in. But if you're doing Rowan, you don't have to switch ever. You can use the same team you're using for farming versus that you will use for doing gaps. And you can go to whatever kingdom you want, pretty much within reason. You don't want to be going to kingdoms where stuff is like summoning or, you know, doing barrier right off Jump Street or something like that. Make sure you go to a smart kingdom where you can wipe them out reliably in one shot quickly. But do Explore 1, use Rowan, use Ironhawk. It's still the same thing. Vault event is the best event in the game. You should play it probably around 5 hours a day at least this weekend. You know, maybe get up 2 hours early, go to sleep 2 hours late. It's really not that hard to do. Let's say if you're a beginner, shoot for like 100 keys at least, bare minimum. If you're a mid-game player, shoot for 200 keys at least, bare minimum. And if you're an end-game player, shoot for 300 keys at least, bare minimum. But yeah, you're not going to be able to tell it's even an event. There's no shop, there's no leaderboard, but gnomes just appear more often, that's all it is. And they also drop vault keys more often. Some no-nos, I feel, is don't do pets during a vault event. I know that's hard for a lot of y'all, but you know, vault keys are the best thing in the game. Vault event's the best thing in the game. Pets will come and go. Pets are easy to get. Every time a pet rescue pops up, I already have it on level 20. They give you so many pets these days for each kingdom. You don't really need as many as you think you do. You got the faction event, you got holiday events, Legends Reborn, Kingdom Passes, Epic Trials. Like, just every Wednesday there's a pet. Like, you can do pets every other day of the month except for during the vault event. Like, I would say try not to do pets unless you're a top 1%er and that's all you have left to do is do pets. Because wouldn't you rather have gems, gold, souls, orbs, tarot cards than just one stinky copy of Smelly Cat or something? Dingleberry Monkey or whatever they are. But yeah, pretty much the gameplay loop is I hunt for verses. I force myself to. So I'll run a gap, and I try not to have anywhere close to my boss chest. So I try to start with like as close to 0 out of 100 on my myth stones before I run a gap, and I make sure I have a gap too. And then I'll run a gap. I'll use the Sister Superior, Ironhawk, Dust Devil, or you know the other way around, Dust Devil, Ironhawk, Sister Superior, and you know, I'll run the gap, and then when I'm done with the gap, you know, you try to get at least 20. You should get an average of like 20 vault keys per gap. Sometimes you'll get 25, sometimes you'll get 15, but with Ironhawk, you should be sitting around at least 20 per gap. And gaps take 15 minutes, so you can get like 80 vault keys an hour or so if you're, you know, if you have a bunch of gaps. For me, it's like more like 40 or 50 an hour because I have to do, you know, hunt for the verses in between. So I kind of like run a gap, then I'll go hunt verses until I get a boss chest. Run a gap, go hunt verses till I get a boss chest. Run a gap, go hunt verses till I get a boss chest. So I force myself to go verse hunt in between gaps. I don't like people when they stack up gaps. I don't like people when they go do pet rescue. I don't like when people go do PvP instead of Explore 1. It's still, you know, you can't complain about like certain things if you're gonna play the event wrong. You know, you can't look up gold farming teams or soul farming teams or how the vault keys aren't giving you gems like they used to. Well, it's probably because you're going off on Wild Goose Chase, doing pet rescues or, you know, doing PvP or doing Explore 5 with whatever, Ruby Weapon or Stellarix or something. It's still the same. Everything's still the same. Ironhawks if you got them, Rowan if you don't. Rowan in whatever kingdom you want, Ironhawks usually send a Mirage or Wild Plains. So, I don't know. Just wanted to give you all a quick refresher on the Vault event. I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow, and then I got the chatathon on Saturday, so we'll be going over the Vault event like crazy. But yeah, just a quick refresher on the Vault event. It's just an event with no shop, no leaderboard. You get pity keys. Gnomes appear more often. They drop vault keys more often. Don't open your vault keys during the vault event. Wait till after. That's another no-no. You don't get more from the vault keys during a vault event, and it's a waste of time to open them during the vault event. So, you know, do Explore 1. Kill enemies as quickly as possible. That's the goal. Cycle through enemies as quickly as possible. You don't want to be doing anything else. You don't want to make it harder on yourself. You don't want to slow down, use a different team, nothing, none of that. Just kill enemies as fast as you can, cycle through them as quickly as possible so you can see gnomes. There's a die roll every time you start a battle, and a gnome could appear. For every slot, for every one of the 4 slots, a gnome could appear. So you want to get to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, so you have more chances at seeing gnomes. Then for every gnome you kill, there's a dice roll, whether or not you get a vault key. And then same thing with like the Gnomapalooza gnomes, the Dragonite gnomes. You know, there's a die roll, so you want to see more of those. The more die rolls you get, the better the chance you're going to get some of the stuff you're looking for. But yeah, and as far as Dragonite goes, keep a timer with your Gnomapaloozas. And if you have a Dragonite gnome in the last like minute, you could wait until the music stops and then kill the Dragonite gnome once the music stops and goes back to normal, and you'll get the full drop. Because that's another thing. They you know, they put a limiter on the loot you can get during a gap, so you only get about 10% of what you would normally get. So if you wait until the gap is over, then the 10% goes away. It's back to 100%. So if you see something you like, just make sure it's in the last minute, though. You don't want to be wasting your gap. But if you see something you like, you can wait till the music's over and back to normal. You can get the full drop. Mostly used for Dragonite gnomes. So instead of getting like 10, you'll get 100. Instead of getting 8, you'll get 80. Instead of getting 5, you'll get 50. And whatnot. But yeah, if you have any questions, come to the stream tomorrow morning. Just want to do a quick refresher. Like, share, subscribe. Consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your good about channel comment below. Get those class weapons. Do Explore 1. Use your Ironhawks, man. Freaking Rowan. Nothing else. No pets. Don't be opening those vault keys, man. Peace out.